like this going in the living room under the TV.
I want it family right.
Oh yeah, but I'm gonna park it in the house. 'Cause I ain't gonna park it down there with it down in the basement with a drunk. Oh.
But I bought them because when me and my friend Alina go to work over there in the elementary school during weekdays, now every time you walk up that hill from my school, the sun shines in your face because it's daylight. And I can't see Jack when you go in that school building. Your eyes are all messed up. So it's like, I'm going to get Jack's pair of sunglasses so I'm not going to lose.
Henderson's 1912 to 1917 were built in Detroit, Michigan. The Hendersons in 1917 will see that when America declares war on Germany, materials are hard to come by. So they sell out to Excelsior in Chicago. Now, if you're not aware of Excelsior, go and have a look at the headstocks. It will have the Schwinn logo, Schwinn bicycles. Okay. So Igna Schwinn would tie the Hendersons into a deal where they can't use their name, can't use the patterns of the 4-cylinder engine, can't use the contracts, and they can't build another 4-cylinder motorcycle for 2 years. But he gave them both a 2-year contract. Tom, his younger brother, is put in the accounts office. William, the driving force of the company, is put on the shop floor. Now, William, being totally disillusioned, he resigns within 18 months. Within that short period of time, he realises he can't use the name Henderson, so he starts a new company, this time using the name Ace. He can't use this 4-cylinder engine, so he increases the size of it to 77 cubic inch. How does he overcome any pattern problems? Not one single piece of the Ace motorcycle engine would fit on a Henderson. No pattern abuse. Now what happens is by 1922, you're going to see William Henderson involved in a terrible accident where he doesn't see the day out. His younger brother now leaves or resigns from the Henderson accounts office. He now goes over to Philadelphia, and he would take with him a fellow called Arthur Lemon, and within a short period of time, realising he didn't have that drive that William had, he would roll up the company, and this time doing exactly what they did in 1918, but it's now 1927. They sell it to the competition, and that's when the competition would be Indian. Yeah. And so this is actually an Ace engine that has been converted by Indian. Now, of course, you're going to see all Indians, left-hand twist grip, right-handed shifter. So we've got fuel on, choke on, just a couple of priming kicks, choke off, retard the spark, ignition on and depending on who you are, some people believe this 1939 Indian 4 was the best Indian of all, because the following year they put a rear suspension on it, but then they would put the Art Deco mudguards that Indian are so famous for. Some people didn't like them mudguards. Also, you're going to see by 1941, because of the merciless bombing on Pearl Harbor on the 7th of December, you're going to see that this bike would basically be discontinued. However, there would be still some being, which would have been built in 41 and would be sold in 42. Polaris could legally come out with this bike. Polaris brought the Indian name, and in 2014 started producing bikes. And of course, bring it out exactly like it is. Not so much for the big strapping lads, but for the beautiful ladies. Low centre of gravity. If you look here, you've got at least 4 or 5 inches off the ground. Plus, of course, you've got this great big space under here, 77 cubic inch. In 1939, this was a top of range bike, and it was still capable of probably over 100 miles an hour. Remember, these strapping fellas would actually be able to fit on this bike, as well as young ladies. A young lady, 5'2 1/4. Don't you ever forget the quarter, she said. And of course, she actually managed to put tippy toes on the floor without any alteration. Just absolutely beautiful. Now, this brings you all into the Second World War stuff. be aware of the XA, the Experimental Army Harley Davidson. It was an opposed twin. People say, oh, I didn't know they built that one. And they normally find that out down the bottom there. And so we walk all the way back up here, all the way back, and come all the way back down. Also, the Indian looks like the Motor Guzzi of Italy, but that is an Indian, and that is 20 years before Motor Guzzi came out with that engine design. Both of them shaft driven, so it's just amazing. Anyway, all your history.
Thank you.
Cool.
Thank you very
My
much.
pleasure.
Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
That must crank it.
Oh.
The pedal gets your kickstart.
What can we place for?
Yeah. Police pedal car. Amazing. Only two was in them found them.
Yeah.
Look at the bellows.
Isn't that where things you blow?
Might be in a forge or something.
Take several people.
Big name.
You've seen that story on that right there, haven't you? Found it in a wall. Yeah, I think so. Guy built it and hid it in the wall and forgot about it. Or never did take it back out. 1912 series. See this back right here, man? I said a machinist built this thing. And the story was that they found he put it in the wall, went off to World War II. He came back, lived to be an old man, but never took it back out of the wall.
Oh, okay.
That's the only one like it in the world. And it'll run. Yeah, I watched the little episode on it. It was pretty neat.